about Will is that he has always come across to me as a people pleaser. I recognize that part of him because it exists in me as well. And sensitive people, assuming that he's one of them too, tend to have a hard time owning their sense of self. There's a quote-unquote need for external validation. And he even touched upon that in his acceptance speech. The whole situation was hard to watch because things are way deeper than what you see on the surface. With that being said, the memes. I was sent memes after memes of the situation. I have a tall coffee for Jada. Keep my wife's name out of your mouth. When I rub my cat's belly, slap. Twisted day. I'm new to memes, so they are ridiculously funny to me. People can be so damn funny. And you know what I realized? That other popular meme, why so serious, bro? I finally understand it. Not what it means literally, but why does everything in life have to be taken so seriously? Why does everything have to end up with a shocking response? We make things so much harder for ourselves a lot of the times. And I'm speaking for myself, not about Will, myself. Being highly reactive is detrimental and toxic to the mind and body. There really is no need for a cycle of irrational behaviors or outbursts, but some people operate like that. It's normalized behavior. I didn't recognize this for a while, but every time I'd have a meltdown each month, it was actually a cry for help. I didn't recognize it as such. It was just normal behavior to me. It was only when this behavior was challenged, as well as witnessing the fallout of these meltdowns, did I realize that this isn't normal. It's not normal to have a debilitating meltdown each month. It just clicked in my head that I need to address this with a professional, and I've begun the process of that. And let me tell you, it is not easy to do that. Being vulnerable physically feels wrong, as if it's going against your survival instinct. But once I was able to step past that initial resistance, it honestly felt like a huge relief. In retrospect, it actually wasn't so bad at all. It occurred to me that feeling all of my feelings is okay. I don't need to fight them or shun the bad feelings away. All emotions are important, not just the ones that feel good. Each emotion serves a purpose, and I realize that it is important to accept that. This is part of being human, to encompass a range of emotions, to feel happy, sad, angry, disappointed, all of it. So I am trying to accept myself and others as being human. A person that is subjected to all emotions. A person who is subjected to making mistakes. And it's okay to make mistakes. Revelations were made left and right lately. This got me thinking about why my favorite movie of all time was Invaders from Mars, the 1986 version. That movie scared me so much as a kid. was everything so painful? Little did I know, but that movie really symbolizes the programming that is done from childhood, even way before birth, of our conditioned reactions, behaviors, and thought processes. Our previous experiences often dictate our reactions in the moment, especially if we don't have a proper understanding of them. I often felt trapped by my own mind as a kid. I was always told I wasn't good enough, even though I was the best child any parent could ever wish for. It was like everyone had been probed by that needle. Everyone I once trusted began to turn on me. People weren't who they seemed to be. It was all just a disguise. And this movie mirrored back to me how I felt about life. This movie proved to me that people were just like that. Two-faced. They can turn on you in an instant. But of course, as I got older and I took the time to understand the human brain and how the mind functioned, only then did I unlock a little bit of the truth. I had to unlearn a lot of negative behaviors, attempting to learn better responses, better coping skills. And it is very hard to do that by yourself. But you can change the brain patterns if you are willing to put a lot of effort into improving yourself. And you'll probably make significant changes in a short amount of time if you seek guidance with a professional. That's how I currently feel anyways. Bringing it back to the movie, I was drawn to the element of fear and distrust because those were familiar feelings to me. And subconsciously, we seek out what is familiar, often replaying the narrative of victimization, of someone doing us wrong. I think it's similar to having a dopamine kick, a rush. I'm gravitated towards scary movies because it triggers the conditioned programming in my brain and body, and it gives me that same feeling as it did when I experienced traumatic situations in my childhood. I know that sounds really deep, but it actually makes sense. I used to binge scroll through the whole list of horror movies on Netflix for hours just to get that dopamine kick. And I realized that something stressful must be happening in my life for me to trigger this behavior. So for me, this was more than just about watching scary movies, but rather a psychological response to stress. And honestly, it's such a waste of time. If I'm going to watch a scary movie, it's gotta have substance to it. No more F-rated movies. I'm taking my time back. With that being said, now I can actually appreciate the horror movies that I love. As a matter of fact, watching my favorite horror movies all over again as an adult hits different. The CGFs, I like to call it CGIFs because TGIF, they don't do it like they used to anymore. Technology has far advanced for my simple mind. What once scared the living crap out of me, for example, that brain creature making its debut in Invaders of Mars, was my favorite. The Dream Warriors was at the fourth one. I loved how each character imagined themselves to have superior strength and powers, which helped them fight against Freddy. I mean, if you believe it to be real, your subconscious can't decipher conscious reality and dream world. As an adult, you can appreciate the little things you may have missed as a child. You'll catch on to innuendos or whatever verbal mumbo-jumbo an older person would more likely understand, or even just the not-too-seriousness of it all when it comes to the gore factor. The YouTube channel Dead Meat is so awesome. Instead of scrolling through crap movies, I get the summarized version without the drama. That is a channel done right. I love James's humor, and he always has good energy. You see, scary movies don't have to be all of that psychological warfare. It can just be a damn movie. And bringing it back to the beginning about not taking things so seriously. Find the joy in everything. I mean, it's so easy to point out the negatives, but how about we focus on the joy in life? Joy comes in many forms. Creating movies, creating a YouTube channel, painting. We all have an innate desire to create something from our mind. Our inner being desires to manifest and show itself. Self-expression in many forms. And life will mirror exactly how you feel. If you feel like crap, well, then life is crap too. But if you can find the joy and shift perspective amongst the crap, maybe you'll be able to appreciate life or scary movies for what they are. It's just another form of expression. Someone envisioned it, and a team of individuals actualized it. And there's something really cool about that. On a quick tangent, maybe we are living in a simulated universe. Maybe there are other beings watching how we live, like Sims. We're just pawns of the original creator. I mean, down to a cellular level, even cells